old purple Marauder is getting long in the tooth. And that should be expected. This is a first-gen Dodge, after all. And welcome to Saturday Builds. That's what we're doing. Now, I have got issues. Not of the typical kind here. One of them is the neutral safety clutch thing doesn't work. The other being this. White tickety. Especially when on load. Hear that noise in the upper section? Those are some rip'ems. Now, oil flow. We gotta look at these things. So the oil pump is off of the timing belt, and the same gear that runs your distributor also runs your oil pump. Filter there, so the pump is located there-ish. There's a filter, pressurized through the filter, goes this way, and there is the oil pressure center. So that doesn't runs the gauge inside, which shows good pressure inside. And where it runs to there, I do not have a diagram for this, but I do know that there's a counterbalance shaft in there. And I think it's time we free up some free ponies here. Free ponies, because that thing takes 3 to 5 horsepower. It's spinning at twice the RPMs of the motor. Now this is a 2.5, a Chrysler 2.5, an absolute gem, but expenses were spared on this. I'm getting off topic. I was making a point that the oil filter is directly into the block with no housing or anything. That's fine. So I think we're not getting good oiling to the top when cold. Now that problem goes away when the motor's hot. It had this problem before I did the in-frame rebuild, which there's a video on that, right? Yeah, there is a video on that. And I had it after. Now maybe I should have replaced the oil pump and whichever, but the oil pressure reads the same. So since the reading's there, I'm thinking that thing, the counterbalance shaft, gets pressurized oil before anything else. It is at the bottom of the motor, or maybe there's a T or something. I do not. There might be an oil diagram that I could find online, but I don't have it. So let's look here. Let's get in this. First, we're gonna get some baseline. And by baselines, I mean that we are gonna run it, see how smooth it is, because it is a pretty smooth motor, 2.5 here, but we're going to run it and see how smooth it is, and then we're going to run it on the highway. We'll do some speed shifts. Tach doesn't work. You just have to take my word on some things. We'll try to be as consistent as we can. We'll shift at a speed. That's what we'll run at. Do some highway entrances. Cars driving by. Let's do some highway pulls. We're going to pull it out. We're going to compare. This is your weekend project for the day. Why, hello there. The water bottle that was already in here. Well, it feels smooth. Apparently not as smooth as I previously thought, but still pretty smooth. Yeah, don't say. Well, hopefully nobody yucks my yums here. Close that door. I missed that. Let's try not to mess this up again. Freeway entrance. Step one is going to be draining the oil. I'm going to get some hot counterbalance removal action. I don't remember what this is, 16? Of course, everything's the temperature of the sun down here. Now, oil appears to have drained. Let's take a look here. We are going to put our drain plug back in, at least for the moment. There's some oil over here. Now, looking back, oh, getting nice and dirty, of course. Back at the frame here, you can see we've been leaking a little bit of oil. Oofta. Well, and at first I was thinking, first noticed it when we had this thing sits pretty low on the ground. Took her out camping. We had some rock strikes over here, and I was hoping it was leaking. Well, I don't see any holes in the thing, so maybe it was just leaking out the back of the pan. Maybe I didn't RTV this quite well enough, but that's what we're gonna find out here. Now it's a first-gen Dodge. There's nothing too exotic going on under here. Magnet. Every bolt holding this oil pan in is a 10 mil. If I recall right, I'm also going to need a, uh-oh. Maybe I should try loosening them. Maybe I shouldn't start with the impact. Figure that one out soon enough, don't you worry. And I'll tell you how many there are here in a minute. I can smell that oil and grease in there. This smells cooked, actually. Am I cooked, bro? Oh, man. Now, there's always going to be one, but at least well, whatever. You get the point. It's rounded. At least it's in an easy spot to get to. I did get it off, and it was fine. Now for this. Now, this shield covers up the flywheel, needs to be removed, and that is the only thing holding my pan in, which really has me question how well of an RTV job I did, because it should be sticky, but as you can see, there's just nothing holding it on. So now, I'm under this, and I need a 10 mil ratcheting, which I have, easy enough, and this will all come off, and then we get into the guts of her. I gotta stop doing that. This is a car, not a woman. Her. Quit genderizing your things, especially cars, I suppose. Well, no, this would be a dude. The ratcheting 10 mil is a thing of beauty. Oh no, there's another one there. Another big one right there. Two different sizes? Alright, so the cradle that this thing sits in, it's a 15 that I used on this bolt here. But the back one appears to be larger. Interesting. This is the intermingling. Oh, not really? Not quite a 17. Are we all American? Alright, here's our counterbalance shaft on the bottom. Ah, she's a beaut, isn't she? Well, let us have a nice look inside the pan here. And I think all looks well. No sparklies, no grams. Ooh, little RTV got down in there. That's not going to be a problem. And then over here, this whole thing on the bottom is the counterbalance assembly. We got 10s there. Let's pull them. This thing does hold some oil, so I spared no money on threads. One more at the tab here. Now here is our chains. One shaft, two shaft. So I've got it. If I was to do things right, which we're not, clearly, because we're removing the thing, but if I was, I would have done a new chain on this thing and retimed the thing. Now, I did not do that, obviously, because it is maxed out adjustment from when we did the rebuild in the last video. We got a 10 mil here. There we are. Gear be gone. That's still got some heat in there. Won't hurt us any longer. Ways to get the chain off. Now, easy way, if you don't want to go any further, you can just remove this chain. Should be a... we got an angle grinder, we'll do that. Well, oil pump next. Or oil pump pickup next, I should say. Is that another 13 right there? Also install no O-ring in there, do not forget that. Whoa! Jeez! Now I'm going to question myself. How much did I just ugga-dugga this thing on? I'll have to review the footage. I don't know. Yep. Alright, I remember. I beat a 12 on there. It's a 13, I beat a 12, and managed to get it. There is our oil pump pickup. It's the oil pump right above there. And the bolt by the number 1 cylinder, that one of these, there's a hole which feeds oil through here. So this is getting oil pressure right off of the pump. Getting pressure first. So we got loose bearings in here. These bearings were not rectified, changed at all. So it is possible. But even though we're getting a good oil pressure reading, where's that oil pressure sender? Right up there. The rest of the system has insufficient pressure. We're gonna get this thing off. I'm gonna try to beat a 12 on there, see what happens. Moments. There is a ½ inch on here, which you might recognize is not quite 13. So I didn't put a whole lot of torque getting this thing in. Come on, buddy. Ha ha! Yeah, buddy. My lucky day. Phew. I could have gone really awry. More awry because the Icon ratchets, the old Pittsburghs, were better. I said what I said. Oh, 2 of them. Ah, yeah. And tap the magnet, so I knocked all the bolts off. What in the world is up with this magnet? I thought they were better than this. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, and of course it's crazy hot. Leak your way up. Come on, buddy. Man, oh man. Alright, we got worn bearings. Oh, if an increase in oil pressure, all should be fine, right? Let's roll with it. Everything's gonna be just fine. Oil hole. Where are we at? By cylinder number 1. Is it getting it from the crank, actually? Oh. Alright. Yeah, it's gotta be. And there's just that one, right? Let's see. Yeah, there's another one there. That one. That wouldn't be a return or anything. Oh well, we'll plug them both. There. Wait, what's that? Is that a drain? It is not. It is a locating pin. And we can look up there and have a look at our oil pump. You can't see it. I can. I'm going to say it looks fine. Well, one less thing to pump oil to. Pressure should increase, right? Tap in my mouth. Now, there's only one oil fill hole, or oil pressure hole here. Let me show you. Yeah, I still gotta cut this chain off. And there is the hole. Bitty guy by number 1, just like they said. Now, I was mistaken, thinking that one, that's actually an alignment dowel pin sticking out. So, we got some clearance, not really issues, but we are going with the 1/4 inch 20. Do I have a 1/4 inch 20 bolt? And of course, this thing is at an angle, but that should cut that nicely. We're gonna find a proper bolt for that, get her in, get lots of red. Yeah, red. This thing never needs to come out. Now there's different ways to skin this cat. was thinking a little flat piece of steel right there, but that could introduce somewhere for that oil to come out, I suppose. So we'll do it this way. Now, fortunately, with the water pump that's right here, this would have been much easier to do when I had all this out. Now I don't want to drain the coolant and do all that, so we're going to make do with what we got here. Might get the 1/4 inch set out, and I mean, it just needs to hold the bolt and have it not fall out and have it hold pressure. We're holding back 60 pounds of pressure here, which is not a whole lot for this. Things are going to be fine. Let me find a proper way to turn that. Well, I do not have a ratchet or anything else this small. It's at an angle. There's always going to be challenges, aren't there? See if we can get a good few turns out of here level. And by level, I mean allegedly straight. I mean, the thing's dripping oil on me right now. Should be pretty well lubed, right? And we'll just tap it in, because we're using a tap. Just tappity, tap, tap, tap. Not recommended, but... Now, what am I doing? Why didn't I cut this first? Alright, chain up, those easy cut, and just roll the motor over a little bit. And now I believe and yes, that hole is not straight, in case you're wondering there. 2.5, clearly. It's a thing of beauty. You see the chips there, and there you can see the threading. We're gonna blow that out a little bit. Things are looking up. Yeah, buddy. Well, I guess it's blue we're going for, because I had blue in a red container. Come on. Oh, and this thread's so nice. Alright, there we have it, but I mean, you gotta trust the Loctite, I suppose, even if it's just blue. In a red container. This is a Harbor Freight unit. What in the world? Label's worn off, red container, but it's blue Loctite. We should be fine. But it feels like I want to do something a little bit more to keep this in. I mean, this thing can run 80 pounds of pressure. Well, I guess it's like a 10 psi for every 1,000 RPM. Max RPM, absolute max probably 6,000. That's even pushing it. So, 60 pounds of pressure? It should be fine, right? Absolutely, it should be fine. I don't know. Well, there's an old saying. When your only tool is a hammer, everything's a nail. Ooh, and it's on fire. And there we are. Now, I think the welding was completely unnecessary, so if you don't have access to a welder, you can still do this thing. That's for my peace of mind. That bolt would have held just fine, I think. Now I'm going to spare you some of this because I really don't think it's terribly interesting. But an O-ring, a new O-ring, is going in to the oil pump pickup. Although I am sure it's fine. Other things we're going to ignore. Now the pan in here has this baffle design at the bottom. There's like, it's plated on the inside, which means that, well, as I discovered when I was cleaning this thing during the rebuild, a lot of oil can hide up in there, or seemingly a lot. I mean, it is what it is. Probably don't need to go cleaning this too much. And I guess it holds, or it does hold sludge between the it's not even a baffle, it's just a plating for strength, for valor. Couldn't tell you. Using ultra red. At some point I'll learn my lesson about not buying the cheapest junk around. It's Permatex. I don't think it's from the Harbor Freight. The usual suspects. Damn it. A little dollop right there. No counterbalance shaft. What mysteries do you hold? There is our answer. 2 shafts, which are keyed, rotate like that at twice the speed of the motor. And there it is. And we got bearings in there. There's a keyway there. That is the gear side. And that is third order, second order. I don't know the difference, but I do know it allegedly helps with those vibrations. Now, is this thing important? No. Maybe there'll be more I don't know, maybe I should run the car before I start talking. But I do know that the Dakotas with the 2.5, because of the shape of the oil pan or something, does not come with these. So same motor, same shakety factor, none of these. I'm gonna throw this on the scrap trailer. There are things you will need to take my word for. And one of them is that I put this thing back together. Obviously, oil pan, easy peasy. Do you need me to ship? Yes, tripod would be needed. Now for the refilling. I got 2.5 quarts here of the, ooh, we're doing 1540? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I doing mixing this stuff? 1540 and then 1040? Oof. Now this stuff here has cleaned, or cured, usually cured for about an hour. Get down there. And I think we're gonna take, removing that counterbalance, there's more capacity in the pan now. 1 quart according to the internet, to people that have done this before. And you gotta go look in the forums for that, because nobody's doing this, and I'm the only one, as far as I know, doing this on video here. That's some good smelling oil. It's 5 quarts. So that's 2.5, let's go down to 1.5. Now overfilled, but we also haven't filled up the filter yet. Or pre-filled. But it's gotten late here. Oof. I think our oil capacity is good. I actually can't wait to hear the thing. That feels good. No leaks, looks good, smells good. Now we're going to take her out on the highway for that performance. And we'll check this in the morning, see if we're, because the motor was still hot, not cold. I mean, usually after a start, the pressure appears to be about the same. But where I was reading and where the oil was flowing, there should be more going to the top end now, but we're not going to know until we start her up tomorrow morning and then run her tomorrow morning and see how she performs. It's cold. By cold, I mean 40. Let's go ahead and back this thing off the ramps and hope all is well. No oil pressure. Really? This is no worry. I assume it's got to relearn since they had the battery disconnected. Well, now we're sitting. Let's make all things equal here. Settle down there. I see it in the water there. Hopefully that catches on camera here, but I don't really feel it. Hello again. So, no leaks, decent pressure. Feels like she runs about the same. Let's take her on the road and see how she feels. Oh, hey there. Pull down here, give her a nice little warm up. It sounds smooth. Apparently those things were whining. We stop at the same spot. it's the middle of the night. That doesn't stop me from recording my end clips. Now, the van is still vanning balance shafts, and after some time, despite it apparently not being any faster, although we may be within the margin of error here, that was really close, and it feels faster, especially in the top end, which is what I was expecting. We may have lost some torque. Still completely drivable, still enjoyable. We're up to 245, and about 1,000 miles or so, a little over 1,000 since we did that. But all good things must come to an end, and that includes this video, and maybe this van, or not end to end, but me and the van. Although it's a hard thing, and these choices are hard. Fortunately, is a guy who has a house. There is a practical limit to how many vehicles I can store here. There's a nicer one to have. You can get a second-gen Dodge Caravan with the 4-cylinder, with the manual transmission, and you are going to find it miles ahead in comfort, performance, and a whole bunch of stuff. But we're going to end this video. And if you haven't done the things, we got content on this guy coming out too. What a champ. You should do the things. The doobly-doop, the liking, the commenting, the roasting, whatever you do. I don't gotta tell you this.